So now I want to take a look back at my 2019 predictions to see if any of them actually came true this year. And spoiler alert, most of them were completely wrong. Let's take a look at the first one I made last year, which is about sub $500 gaming PCs. So I do think this will be the year we'll get gaming PCs that perform better than most consoles that should cost around $500 or so. And as you can see there, I was totally off the mark on this one. I really thought that we would see kind of the transition away from traditional game consoles to a more commodity-driven marketplace for gaming, given how many games are now on console and on PC. But it looks like we're going to be looking at proprietary game consoles for the foreseeable future. Microsoft just this week announced the Xbox One Series X, I think is what they're calling it. And this really is a PC, and it will be probably around that $500 price point, but it's not running Windows, and of course it's going to be branded with Microsoft, and there won't be any other compatible consoles out there. Sony, of course, will be releasing their PS5 as well, and there doesn't appear to be anything on the horizon for a low-cost TV-connected device. And this might be partly due to the fact that Windows just doesn't play well on televisions. They don't have a nice lean-back interface that would encourage more people to hook their computers up to their televisions. And it looks like this new Xbox and the new PlayStation will have a pretty fast system on a chip from AMD that will deliver some pretty amazing performance, I think, for a pretty low price point. So this one was completely off the mark and is not going to happen next year either, I don't think. Now, I also wrongly predicted that we would see a grand merger of Xbox and Windows games through the Microsoft Store. We have been seeing some of these Play Anywhere titles that exist on both platforms, and if you bought it on Xbox, you get it on Windows, and then you can have your save games sync up. And I thought they would be more aggressively pursuing developers to support this feature, but it really hasn't materialized beyond the Microsoft published titles. What Microsoft, though, did do this year was really double down on their Game Pass service. They're calling the PC version now Ultimate, which gives you games on the PC and on the Xbox. But I found that there are a lot of titles available on both platforms that are really separate entities. So for example, if you were to download Shenmue 1 and 2 on the Xbox, you can play it on your PC also through Game Pass, but the save games won't sync. So it looks like this grand merger isn't happening here either, and on that one, I am totally incorrect as well. Now, this next item was about the decline of the VR consumer market. Let's hear what I had to say last year about that. VR is something that I think is going to continue its consumer market decline, but I do see growth in commercial applications. We're seeing that with HTC's products. They're really focusing more on commercial uses of their VR technology. Oculus is still trying to focus on consumers. They've got a new higher-powered standalone device that might move the needle a little bit, but I still don't think we're quite there yet on the consumer side. Now, on this one, I'm going to say I am partially correct. There was a CNET article that just got published last week that gives a good overview of the consumer VR marketplace right now. And it's still pretty stagnant when it comes to PC headsets. But what has driven the growth of VR this year was something unexpected, the Oculus Quest. Now, last year we knew the Quest was coming, but nobody thought it would be all that good. It turned out to be a very good headset. It kind of meets the requirements for a minimally viable, decent VR experience for most consumers, and it looks like they're buying. So overall VR spending is so far up 31% this year, and this is not including the holiday quarter. So all of that apparently was being driven by the Quest and an increase in spending on the commercial side, which is what we predicted a little bit earlier. So we'll have to see how the year ends on virtual reality, but it looks like from a consumer standpoint, the Quest is driving the market, and that is probably going to be the story rolling into 2020. And we'll have to see what kind of predictions I come up with as to what successor of the Quest we might see in the near future. It'll happen at some point, and I think that will probably be where we see Facebook devote a good portion of their VR spending, because now they've got something that's starting to sell, and we're starting to see them really doing more with that headset, both with the PC Link capability that kind of cannibalizes their other product, the Rift S, which does connect to PCs as well, and of course now they have hand tracking enabled on the Quest that doesn't require any controllers either. Lots of cool developments going on with that product, and they're really pushing it far further than I expected they would. Now, the last thing I predicted was that Apple would release a 12-inch ARM MacBook. Let's hear what I said about that. It'll be running with an iPad processor essentially, but you'll be able to run your Mac applications on it. Apple has been very clear that their MacBooks are computers, their iPads are tablets. This won't be some kind of two-in-one device. I think it'll just be the MacBook we all know, powered by an ARM processor that will likely perform better than the Intel version at specific tasks like photo and video editing. Now, this one I was also totally wrong about, and not only did they not release a new 12-inch ARM-based MacBook, they actually got rid of the 12-inch MacBook completely, which was a total bummer because this is a really good form factor for me. I really like my 12-inch MacBook. It drives this show. I travel with it all the time. I have my original from 2015 that's still going strong. It is a great device, and it was really disappointing to see Apple get rid of it completely. But I am still very optimistic about this prediction, and I still think it's going to happen. If they were to release an ARM device, I have no doubt it'll be in this form factor. Apple likes making things really thin and light, and if they can come up with a laptop that could edit 4K video, for example, with a super efficient ARM-based processor, I know they're going to do it, and it's just a matter of when. So we're going to be rolling over this prediction into my 2020 predictions, and we may end up having to roll this over for a few more years, but I think it's definitely going to happen. And in our Q&A for you this week, I would love to hear your predictions for 2020 as far as what we can expect technology-wise. I think we're going to see a real year of just incrementalism, nothing really new and exciting, but who knows, we might find some really cool stuff at CES this year, which of course we'll be going to in just a couple of weeks.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold-level supporters, the Four Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, Rajesh, Logic GR, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.